Arsenal 2, Brighton Hove Albion 0. Yes, people, welcome back to another Arsenal match reaction. I am absolutely delighted with how this game has turned out for Arsenal Football Club. 3 points and a massive 3 points for multiple reasons. One, Man City dropped points yesterday in a game I thought they were guaranteed to win at home to Crystal Palace. We always seem to lose to Brighton at home. So in many ways, if Man United can somehow, some way, fluke a result in about 30 minutes time to Liverpool, it will be the best possible weekend for Arsenal Football Club. But regardless, I'm delighted. As I said, you can only take care of your business. Only take care of your business on the football pitch. And Brighton Hove Albion is never an easy game. I know they haven't been as good as last season in the Premier League this year. I will say that for an absolute fact. But they're still a very dangerous team. They've still got dangerous players that we know can hurt us, players like MOTM, Evan Ferguson, etc. And I felt we dealt with this game fantastically, especially given that when we normally play Brighton, it's a very tough game. And I know we've lost 3-0 at home last year to Brighton. We lost 2-1 the year before to Trossard, etc. We seem to not do well against Brighton, especially at home. They're a bit of our bogey team. So to come here today at the Emirates in front of our home crowd and play a real dominant football match from minute 1 to minute 90, I can only be nothing more than proud of the boys. Nothing more than proud of them, man, because I was delighted with how it turned out. That was a fantastic display, and that will really please Mikel Arteta as well, like it will please a lot of the fans, because this game right here from Arsenal, it was 2-0, and it looks like we grinded that result, but we were in complete control of the vast majority of that football game. We let it slip from us for half a second, and to be fair, we could have got punished. Pascal Gross should have done a lot better from the Mitoma cross. It hit the side netting, the outside netting, rather than the inside netting, thank God. But other than that, we were completely comfortable in this game, man. It was our game to lose, and we dominated it from minute 1 to 90. Fully deserved the 3 points. Some real standout performers in there as well. I think Declan Rice, I've titled this video, Declan Rice Man of the Match Display, and I've said that for a reason. He was superb today, Declan Rice. Absolutely superb. Every single loose ball was his. The way Brighton play football, they play in a very attack-minded style, and I have to commend them for that. But it's very risky. They play the ball through the midfield, and what it meant was whenever Lallana, Billy Gilmore, or anyone like that picked up the ball in midfield, Declan Rice was on them like a rash, man. Like a rash. Got there and snuck the ball, snuck up behind them and stole the ball off them. So many counterattacks off that. Declan Rice carrying the ball from midfield as well. Those of you that watched my preview for this game will know that I said the midfield battle is so key for this game. If Declan Rice can get the best of Brighton's midfield, we will win this football match. And lo and behold, that's what happened. Declan Rice once again, he's put 7 or 8 out of 10 in pretty much every game he's played in an Arsenal shirt. But this for me is a standout performance. This is at least a 9 out of 10 for me from Declan Rice. I thought he was fantastic today. Absolutely fantastic. Well worth the 3 points from his end himself. And then other than that, I have to commend the team for keeping at it. There's some things I will say we need to improve on. Number one thing, putting the ball in the back of the net, man. How many times today did it feel like we were trying to walk the ball in the back of the net? It's like you weren't allowed to score unless you were in the 6-yard box. That's what it felt like. Like the amount of times the ball got pulled back to us and it'd be dilly-dallying, Odegaard a couple of times. Put your foot through it, man. Like there's one time when Saka rolled the ball to him on a play and he's just dilly-dallying, and he ended up that Donk got back and blocked it. Martinelli, ball gets rolled to him from Saka in the first half, open goal, blazes it over the bar. Like little things like that, man, that's what can cost us. You need to put the ball in the back of the net more often. Yes, we got a good result there and we fully deserve the 3 points. But if you look at the game itself, it should have been 5 or 6-0. It genuinely should have been. We should have torn Brighton apart. And the scary thing is, if Pascal Gross scores that chance, we're at risk of drawing this game 1-1, having dominated it for 85 minutes. So little things like that, man, you need to make sure that you're on top job. And when you have your chances, put them away. I understand you're not going to have a 100% conversion rate. I'm not an idiot. I understand it's not possible in football. But when you get very good chances, look at the first half. We had 16 shots in the first half, and 3 of them were on target. Like, it's not good enough, man. It's not good enough in that respect. But that's a very minor thing. Overall, though, for the rest of the game itself, holistically, fantastic performance. Fantastic. I thought we came with intensity. We started fast from minute 1. And I like that because when you play a team like Brighton, your number one job is to match their intensity. That's your number one port of call because Brighton are going to play intense. They're going to play fast. They're going to play possession. You need to make sure you match that from minute 1. I felt we did that. We had to right a lot of the wrongs we had against Aston Villa the week before. And we came in today with a point to prove. And that's a very important thing because teams that want to challenge for Premier League titles, they can lose matches. It happens. Everyone's going to lose games at some point. But it's how you respond the game after. We've seen Man City this season lose a football match, then their game after, rather than coming out with full-blooded, attack-minded mentality. They actually look a little bit fragile and feeble and end up dropping points again. Whereas Arsenal this season, whenever we've lost a game, we come out in our next game firing, whether it was after we lost to Newcastle or after we lost to Aston Villa. We've come to Brighton, we come to play against Brighton today, and we were at them from minute one. We started fast, we had all the possession, we looked like a team that was hungry for the victory from minute one. So I like to see that from the boys. Very good in that respect. What else is good? No injuries. Very good. No injuries, no suspensions. Well, I'm not good about that. So when we go to play Liverpool next weekend, hopefully we should have our full strength team. And I cannot wait for that football match, by the way. I cannot wait for Liverpool versus Arsenal. Those of you that are new around here, make sure you subscribe down below because you do not want to miss Liverpool versus Arsenal, my reaction on this channel. I will also be streaming later today for Liverpool versus Manchester United, which you do not want to miss. A massive game in the Premier League as well. But yeah, some other standout performers as well. I want to give a big shout out to the centre-backs, Saliba and Gabriel, because yes, Brighton weren't on their top job today, to be honest. But what they did do is they worked really well at not allowing the transition, because Brighton play really well when it's an expansive game of football, end-to-end stuff, and they made it into that type of game in the second half at times. So what that meant is players like Ben White, Zinchenko were being stretched. So our centre-backs had to do really well to make sure they didn't allow any penetration down the middle. And I thought they did that fantastically. I thought Saliba and Gabriel were on top job today, man. I have to give them a lot of credit for that. I thought Odegaard was good at times. I think he still is lacking that same impetus as last season. Last season, for me, Odegaard was on a par with Kevin De Bruyne at times. He was electric, man, like genuinely scintillating. I think he's yet to reach that same form this season. If I'm genuinely honest with you guys, I still think Odegaard's yet to reach that same, like, oh my God, top tier status where you're thinking, yeah, this is Premier League elite level. He's still a little bit off it right now. I think Havertz was good today as well. One thing I will say about Havertz is, right, since that goal against Brentford, he's gone like this. Genuinely, he's been superb. I thought against Luton, he was arguably our best player. I thought again against Aston Villa, he had a good game and probably, let's be honest, if it wasn't for a stupid rule, would have scored to make it 1-1. Again today, got an important goal, man, when Saka couldn't put the ball in the back of net, when Martinelli couldn't put the ball in the back of net, when Odegaard was struggling to put the ball in the back of net. Same with Jesus, where he scored the header. It was Kai Havertz that stood up and scored a brilliant, important goal for us, man. So yeah, go give him a heap of credit for that one. I thought he had a good game. I thought Jesus, look, his link-up play is good, but if you want to put a ball in the back of the net, you don't call on Gabriel Jesus. Let's be real about it right now. That's why I'm still looking at someone like Osimhen to potentially sign. I think he would be a superb signing for us. Let's try and get that one over the line ASAP in my eyes. I don't want to wait till summer. I want to try and get a striker in January because I know a striker is so important in helping us to win this Premier League title. If we bring a striker in January, our chance of winning the Premier League title goes from maybe 15% up to genuinely 25, 30% at least. Like, we jump up in percentages because it's so important to just have that player you can rely on to get you a goal every game. Erling Haaland scored 36 goals in 38 Premier League matches 35 Premier League matches he played last season. That is a goal more than every game. That is the type of striker you need if you want to have a very good chance to win the Premier League title. No one in this Arsenal team I can bank on scoring 20 goals a season. I'm sorry, but it's true. Even Bukayo Saka, I love Bukayo Saka to pieces. Genuinely, I think he's an absolute player, man. Absolute top tier player, and I love the kid genuinely. But I can't trust Saka in a one-on-one to put the ball in the back of net like Salah can, for example, or like Heung-min Son can, or like Harry Kane, or like Erling Haaland can. Do you get what I mean? That's the difference. And look, maybe it will come. They're still young players. They're still nowhere near their prime. But I still think Arsenal are itching for a real top tier goal scorer, a proper just bagsman up front. And if we get that player, boy, it could be very dangerous times for the Premier League. I'm telling you guys that for an absolute fact. Because today's game was a complete domination by Arsenal. And if we had an Erling Haaland or a Harry Kane or an Mbappe up front or a Salah, it could have been 4 or 5. Let's be real about it right now. In the end, it's 2-0, but it's a pleasing 2-0. It's a very pleasing 2-0 in the manner in which it's a clean sheet, it's a comfortable victory, it's beating a team that we know gets the better of us in recent seasons. They beat us 3-0 last year and outplayed us. It's beating a team that does well against big teams generally. It's beating a team after Man City drew yesterday after being 2-0 up. So it's little psychological factors going in our favour. And look, guys, we could have easily drawn this game if Pascal Gross scores. We could have. Equally, we could have easily drawn the game last week to Aston Villa. What's ended up happening is we lost to Aston Villa and beat Brighton. So we got 3 points rather than 2 draws. Look, I know football isn't as easy as that, but do you get what I mean? So sometimes after the Aston Villa game, we were all at the bottom. We were sitting there all sulking and saying, oh, I can't believe we didn't get a point from that game at least. I can't believe we lost. We should have got a penalty. We should have got this. We should have got that. And it's true, we should have. But at the same time, understand there's bigger things to come. Yes, we lost against Aston Villa, but we come back and bounce back to beat Brighton. We beat Aston Villa last year. We lost to Brighton at home last year. Do you get what I mean? So it swings and roundabouts sometimes. We take the We take the rub of the green and we take the 3 points today. Massive 3 points. We're currently top of the Premier League table. Of course, only momentarily because Liverpool do play Manchester United later today. I hope and pray that Man United get some kind of result. Do I see it happening? Absolutely not. I think Manchester United are going to get absolutely slept. I think they're going to get demolished today. But you never know, man. Football's a crazy, crazy game. We've seen stranger things happen. So who knows what will happen? But we're hoping and praying Man United do us a favour. And if that's the case, we go to that game against Anfield next weekend regardless. First versus second. It will be a massive, massive game in the Premier League that I cannot wait for. Aston Villa also won today as well, so you've got to give them a heap of credit. That's a tough place to go to beat Brentford. They're a very good team. So to get 3 points there, very good performance from Aston Villa as well. But Arsenal, look, we take it, man. We take it. We keep moving. Brighton's a tough game. Look, the tough games we played, guys, yeah? We've had Luton Town away, which is a tough game. Make no mistake about it. We managed to win that 3 points. We had Aston Villa away. Yes, we lost, but the performance was good enough to get at least a point. We didn't deserve to lose that game. So sometimes you just got to say, it is what it is. You lost the game. It's how it goes. It's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes is what they say. And then against, say, Brighton, tough game. We've got 3 points. Now, if we can get at least a point against Liverpool at Anfield, we're delighted with that. I'd be absolutely delighted with that one, guys, honestly. So you got to look at sometimes to understand the bigger picture and understand, yes, last week was disappointing. It was disappointing for all Arsenal fans. We should never have lost that game to Aston Villa, man. We were by far the better team. And we had enough good chances to win that game. But at the same time, you understand, yes, it's one of those things. Now let's respond and go against Liverpool next weekend. And if by any chance we can get a win at Anfield, oh my days, the whole league would be put on notice. The whole Premier League would be like, whoa, Arsenal just beat Liverpool at Anfield. We did not see that one coming. Do you get what I mean? Look, a point would be a good result. I'd take a point if you ask me now at Anfield. So I think Arsenal got to look at this one and be licking their lips. We've got a break as well. No game until Anfield because we're at the Carabao Cup. Liverpool play West Ham in midweek on Wednesday. Use that to our advantage, man. Use that to our advantage. And hopefully, by the time we play next Saturday, we'll have a lot of players ready. Partey could be back. I've seen him in training. Boys, if we have Partey back for that game at Anfield, oh my days. Partey, Rice in midfield. Look, I don't think it's going to happen. I think the best we can get out of Partey is maybe 20 minutes off the bench maximum. But if we somehow, some way can get Partey back, that would be massive for us, man. Absolutely massive for us. But yeah, regardless, delighted with how the game went overall. Happy with the 3 points. And as always, man, keep it moving in the right direction. That's the main thing. Keep it moving in the right direction. Don't just get satisfied with thinking, yeah, good, did well today, got the 3 points. There's always room for improvement. Always. I want this club to win a Premier League title this season and hopefully win a Champions League. Either or, I'd be delighted, to be fair, though. But I know that if we want to do that, there has to be certain margins we have to cut out. Yes, it was 2-0 today, and 2-0 is a fantastic scoreline. We won the game, got a clean sheet. It will look convincing at times in the performance, but everyone knows that if Pascal Gross scores that goal, maybe it's 1-1. And that's the difference. If we give that chance up to Salah or Haaland or Vinicius Jr. or Mbappe, do you get what I mean? It could have been a different story. Or Harry Kane for Bayern Munich. It could have been a different story. So little things need to be tightened up upon. But we're a good enough team, guys. We're a very, very good football team. And the Champions League draws tomorrow. I cannot wait for it to see who Arsenal get. Hopefully we get someone decent in that draw. I don't want to be playing some tough game. You know what I mean? Like a Napoli, for example. I want to avoid Napoli. But if we can get like a nice team, I'd be delighted with that, man. Because we're the pot one team. So hopefully we get a friendly fixture for the Champions League knockout rounds. And if so, we can progress far in that competition. I genuinely believe so. Let's get into some of your comments. If you're on your here, make sure you do subscribe. My road to 5,000 subscribers. If you love keeping up to date with Premier League and football match reactions, this is the absolute place to be. And stay tuned for this. Is it Wednesday? 20th of December. I think that's Tuesday or Wednesday. I think it's Tuesday. 20th of December. Oh, it's Wednesday, sorry. Mbappe video coming out. Very, very special video. You do not want to miss it. If you haven't already watched my Jude Bellingham video, it's a fantastic video. And yet, number 2, the Kylian Mbappe video essay is coming out 20th of December. I think that's Tuesday, but it could be Wednesday. I don't really know the dates. Malia, I appreciate joining the stream. I think you're doing really, really well. 3 points, get in. Now let's go and get Liverpool next week. That's the mentality, man. That's the mentality. Job done here. Celebrate. Time to move on to Liverpool next week. Massive game. Massive game in the Premier League. If we can get a good result against Liverpool, oh yeah, I'll be delighted with that. Absolutely delighted. Even a point against Liverpool is a good result, man. Very good result. Because we play them again in February. So we play, or it might even be January. I can't remember. We play Liverpool genuinely twice within, 3 times in 2 months. We play them in the Premier League away. We play them in the FA Cup at home. Then in the Premier League at home. All in the space of 2-3 months between December 23rd and like February the 6th. So the season between us and Liverpool could be decided in those games. Genuinely. Now, let Liverpool win the FA Cup, we'll win the Premier League games. It's not as easy as that, but you get what I mean. But yeah, regardless, I can't wait for it. It'll be absolutely fantastic. I'm watching Liverpool later today against Manchester United, what is another massive, massive game in the Premier League. You do not want to miss it. So if you are new around here, make sure you subscribe and tune back in here at around 6:30 p.m. as soon as the Liverpool Man United game is done, so you do not miss my match reaction to that game as well. Come on, you Gunners. Yeah, come on, you Gunners. What a fantastic, fantastic display from Arsenal as well. And yeah, another thing I do want to say is, right, I'm delighted with the fact that we're starting to have consistency of our team selection now. At the start of the season, it looked a little bit dodgy. Some games it'd be Gabriel out the team. Some games it'd be Tomiyasu instead of Zinchenko. Some games it'd be Jorginho instead of Kai Havertz. Then other games it would be Trossard instead of Martinelli and Ketty instead of Jesus. We had a lot of like mix and match going on. Now, I feel like in the Premier League, for the past like 3 or 4 or 5 games, we've had a lot of consistency of our team selection. We've played the same team where it's got to a point now like last season where I can predict our starting 11 before the game starts. And that's a very good sign. I remember last year, everyone knew Arsenal's starting 11. It was Ramsdale, Ben White, Saliba, Gabriel, Zinchenko, Partey, Xhaka, Ødegaard, Saka, Jesus, Martinelli. That was Arsenal's starting 11. No two ways about it. And if we made subs, it was because of injuries. Something like that. Do you get what I mean? Now with Arsenal this season, you don't know. Is it Jorginho in one game? Is it Kai Havertz in one game? Is it Tomiyasu? Is it Zinchenko? Is it Trossard? Is it Martinelli? Is it Nketiah? Is it Jesus? You don't know. But for the past 2-3 weeks, our starting 11 has been consistent. You know what the starting 11 is. And thankfully, that's due to a lot of players coming back from injury. We had a very bad injury luck at the start of the season. That's starting to come back around now. Now, obviously, not good as long as that lasts because you never know. It might be, who knows, like, it literally could be against Liverpool, we get a bunch of injuries, or even in training in midweek. You never know. But it's good to see a lot of players coming back. For example, Smith Rowe's back in the fold now. Nice to see him get some action off the bench and get back into the team. Partey could be back. That's a massive player for us, man. Genuinely. Like, I know we've survived the season without Declan Rice in there, but Partey is a massive player for Arsenal Football Club, guys. Let's not forget this. Like, this guy is genuinely the difference sometimes for us. When we missed Partey last season, we were by far, far worse, man. Far worse. So imagine going to somewhere like Anfield with Partey and Rice in midfield, or to the Etihad with Partey and Rice in midfield. It looks far different for us, far different than the midfield we've got right now. So, look, I appreciate the midfield's done really well for us with Havertz, Ødegaard and Rice, but I fully expect us to go to Anfield next week with either Jorginho in there or Partey in there. I can't see us going to Anfield with Rice as a sole midfielder. I think, look, although it can work, if you look at Liverpool's midfield, it's arguably their weakest position on the football pitch. They've got Szoboszlai, McAllister, and I guess Gravenberch or Endo in there, which ain't exactly a strong midfield, let's be real about it. Arsenal should eat that up alive. But hypothetically, I don't know if Arteta's going to risk it because obviously he's just come back from injury. But if we could have Partey, Rice in that midfield together with an Ødegaard in there, oh, that'd be fantastic. Fantastic, man. I'd even consider putting Havertz up front. Even consider doing that just to give us some kind of outlet up there. But yeah, that would be fantastic for us if we could do that. Either way, I'm looking forward to that game next week now. We can put our feet up. We can watch the game later today between Liverpool and Man United, knowing that regardless of what happens, Arsenal have done our job. And that's the main thing. That's absolutely the main thing. Tomorrow's a draw. It is indeed. I will be giving my reaction to the draw later tomorrow when it happens. Make sure you stay tuned for that. Subscribe, hit the notification button. You don't want to miss it. Massive, massive draw for Arsenal in the Champions League. Who do we get? Need to avoid the Italian teams. I agree, man. Italian teams are dodgy. They're dodgy in the Champions League. They always seem to find a way to get their 3 points, man. Always seem to find a way. So I agree with you. I'd love to be able to avoid the Italian teams in there. I don't know who it is, but hopefully we can get like a nice team, man. That's what I really hope. But if we can, that'd be absolutely fantastic. But yeah, let's look at the match stats, actually, guys. Let's look at the match stats. Let me share my screen. Present screen, share screen. Arsenal 2-0 Brighton. Okay, so let's look at the match stats for this game. So as you can see, Arsenal win 2-0. Jesus and Havertz are goal scorers. Look at this, guys. That was domination. 26 shots, 9 on target to Brighton, 6 with 1 on target. We should have walked this game, man. Like, look at the stats. We were by far the better team. I mean, you didn't even need to look at the stats. Anyone that watched the game knew that Arsenal were in complete domination in this game, in complete control. We thoroughly deserved the 3 points there. And I'm delighted. I'm absolutely delighted with how it went. Genuinely, because this is not an easy game, guys. Genuinely, it's not. I know you look at this game and think, wow, Arsenal tore them to pieces. But Brighton is not an easy game, man. It's a tough game. I've seen them get a draw against Liverpool this season. I've seen them go to Old Trafford and demolish Manchester United. I've seen them come here last season in May and demolish us 3-0. So Brighton are not an easy team whatsoever. It's a game that I expected Arsenal to drop points in. I'll be real. Because I know we've got a curse against Brighton, it seems. But to come in and get a very good convincing 3 points and grind it out at times, and even when you didn't look like you were going to score find a way to put the ball in the back of net. That really does please me. Really does please me for Arsenal. And if we look at our fixtures now, guys, yeah, we've got Liverpool next week, tough game, but it's as tough as it's going to get. But you should relish these games. Anfield away. Then we've got West Ham in midweek on Thursday, though, so we've got time to recover. Then we've got Fulham away, tough game as well, but hopefully we'll get 3 points there. Then we've got Liverpool, Palace at home. That's a tough game, obviously, but we should beat them. Forest away is a tough game. Then Liverpool at home, and then West Ham away, and then Burnley away. So that is our fixtures in the months, in the end of December, January, and February. So you look at, there's some winnable games. We play Liverpool twice in that run. We're playing Newcastle at home. So it's tough games for Arsenal, but hopefully we should find a way to get a result, man. We should. Hopefully, that's the main thing, man. Find a way to get 3 points. Because, look, Premier League is a very tough league. It's a very tough league. And you could play very well and not get the 3 points. Arsenal have seen that against Aston Villa, for example. We were good against Aston Villa. We just could not find a way to get the 3 points. It's got to a point now where if you want to win the Premier League title, you have to find a way to win those matches. You have to. Look at Man City yesterday. They were good. They were good for 75 minutes. They were controlling the game. But they found a way to not win the game, basically. Crystal Palace got a point, and deservedly so. I thought they were bang unlucky to not get Ederson sent off. Bang unlucky with that one. So, yeah, it shows you if you're sleepwalking, you're going to get punished. And you don't want to build up a reputation of being a team that throws away leads. You don't have that reputation. Because trust me, you want to have a reputation of a team that when you go 1-0 up, it becomes mission impossible to get anything from that game. Man City had that reputation last season. Arsenal need to build that reputation because obviously 1-0 is a dangerous scoreline, right? But when you build a reputation of being defensively resolute and not allowing teams back into the game, it's not only physically draining on the opposition, it's mentally and emotionally draining. When you go up against a team that you know concedes like 10 goals a season, for example, the Jose Mourinho or Carlo Ancelotti Chelsea teams that would concede like 15, 20 goals a season, it's mentally draining, man. Jose Mourinho, when you go 1-0 down to Jose Mourinho, you know you have to be on top form to get back into that game because he is the absolute master of grinding out victories from leading positions. Man City has showed frailties. They were 2-0 up at home to Palace. This is not Real Madrid, guys. This is not Liverpool or Arsenal. Crystal Palace, 2-0 up at home, and they still found a way to draw that game. So it shows that they're lacking a little bit of Man City, to be honest, guys. But like I said, never write off a team like Man City. But regardless, we take our 3 points. We're delighted. We can now sit back, have our feet up when we watch Liverpool versus Man United. I'll be streaming after that one as well. But yeah, I want PSG, maybe FC Copenhagen. I'd love Copenhagen, to be honest. I'd absolutely love to face them. Plus, they have more teams in the new system of Champions League. Yeah, that'll be next season when they're changing the Champions League. I don't know what I feel about that, to be honest. I'll have to wait and see what it's like, but I'm not a massive fan right now. Come on, United, please beat Liverpool. Oh, I'd hope so. But I can't see it coming, to be honest, guys. My prediction is 5-0 Liverpool. I'm sorry, but I think it's going to be 5-0 Liverpool. I can't wait for the game, and I'll be streaming afterwards. But yeah, but to be honest, I think United are going to lose 5-0 to Liverpool. But yeah, regardless, I appreciate everyone that tuned in today. If you're new around here, you know exactly what to do. Hit that bell notification button. I'm on 4.96 thousand subscribers. So close to 5,000. Can I hit 5,000 before the new year? That is the aim. So if you're new around here, make sure you do subscribe down below. Scroll right back to start stream so you can hear all about my thoughts on Arsenal 2, Brighton, Hove Albion 0. Drop a like down below as well. And if you're watching this now that it's stopped becoming a stream and there's now a video on this channel, make sure you do let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I'd love to hear it. I've been Football. I appreciate everyone for tuning in, and I hope to catch you guys all in my next